Okay, so I will focus on Perek Kaf. Assuming that part of you read it and part of you didn't. And let's, for all of us to get on the same line, let's do a quick introduction to Yehezkel, the person and the history of that period of time. Yehezkel was Navi, and also he was Kohen. We don't know exactly where he was born and when, because the first time we meet him is in Babylon. But some of the Chachamim think that his family was connected to the kingdom family, to one of the kings. The Perek Aleph Yehezkel, if you're supposed to know it, when you get the history, the time frame of the book, פרק א', פסוק א' ב', ויהי ב30 שנה, ברביעי בחמישה לחודש, ואני בתוך הגולה על נהר כבר, בחמישה לחודש היא השנה החמישית לגלות המלך יהויכין. So we have the first date in that book, this book that, it is for you, that 5 years after יהויכין, או יחוניה, המלך, הלך לגלות. So let's go back a little bit to the time of Sefer Melachim, to the end of the Israeli and the Judean kingdom. We have first, at the time of Hoshea ben Elah. Hoshea ben Elah was the king, the split of the Israeli kingdom and the Judean kingdom. So the first ones that went to Galut was the Israeli one, Shomron, Samaria. That was the capital of the Israeli kingdom. And then who kicked them out? Which king? Ashur. Which one? Before Sancheriv. The one before Sancheriv was Shalman Eser. Shalman Eser, Melech Ashur, עלה he made a blockade and took, basically that was the end of the Israeli kingdom. And several years later, several decades later, it became the end of the Judean kingdom by Sancheriv, and later on by the Babylonian. When the Babylonian took over they became the local empire after Ashur. So that's the time, and we are after 5 years. Yehezkel starts 5 years after Galut Yoyachin, which means Galut Yoyachin was the first or the main Galut of the Judean kingdom. We called it also Galut HaCharash ve'Hamasger. That's the Galut of the main part of the Judean kingdom. So it means the Israeli kingdom is done. Everybody is in Ashur, Bavel, that area. Most of the people of the Judean kingdom also, were taken to the Galut. And who stayed behind? Who is in Israel? What? Yeah, all the miserable most, yeah. And, very important fact, we still have a king. Which one? Tzidkiyahu. And at that time it's basically Tzidkiyahu, yes. And, not less important, for the people, at least as a symbol, what do you have in Israel? In Jerusalem, we have the Mikdash. So, just imagine, majority of the people are out of the country, but still we have two symbols of independence. We have a king and we have the temple. So that's the time, and several hundred miles to the north, we have Yehezkel sitting in, with his people, with his nation in Bavel, and giving some, prophecies to them, or to Jerusalem, whatever it is. So that's just to understand. Yehezkel is a very unique book because of that. Because as you know, Chachamim say that the Nevuah is only in Eretz Israel or for Eretz Israel, and Yehezkel is the only one, and for sure the only one that, has the big ones. Like not maybe we have some. You can ask maybe Yonah, he went to Ashur and invest. So you can find some prophecies that were told or given, not in Israel, but Yehezkel is the one that, like, he didn't start in Israel and moved out. His whole career is in Bavel. And that's very strange and unique, and it's exception because Chachamim found the answer. Okay, that's because that's for Eretz Israel. It's not in Israel, but this is for Israel. Just to understand why we don't have prophets out of Israel, why the prophecies focus only on Israel. So people are trying to think about many, complicated. It's very simple. I can give you, I think, an example. Can you imagine that the Jews in America will have an army? Why? Because of punishment, religious. It's just not. It's not realistic. It's not. You don't have a national life to have. An army is an organism that belongs to an independent nation in their own country. It doesn't belong, to a national group that stays wherever. So, if I can think about Nevuah, prophecy is the same. It's the top level of have a holistic national life in our homeland. Once we are out, the nation is broken, and we are outside of our natural place. We don't have it. It's kind of a natural result of the situation. It's not a punishment. It's not. That's why Chachamim say that's very simple. Nevuah is only not like we don't have mitzvot atliyot ba'aretz. We have only in Eretz Israel. Why? Because that's the part of because of the kedusha, because of many reasons. It's not belong to other place. So Yehezkel, it's a very complicated case that we have someone that is living in a period of time that we still have people in Israel. It's very clear that the people in Israel and the Mikdash in Israel and the king in Israel are just a question of time, a year, 5 years, 10 years, and part of Yehezkel's prophecies are focused on that. And majority of the people are in Bavel. So that's just to give the frame of Yehezkel. What's the time frame and the reality we're dealing with that? And I would just add that what's the goal of the prophecy? Why did God send us prophets? From Moshe Rabbeinu or before till Haggai Zechariah Malachi. Why? To teach us halacha? No. So why? What's the goal of the prophet? From what you've learned so far, from Yehoshua, what does he do, the prophet? So you say basically two things, איך לחיות בארץ ואיך להתקרב להשם, and that's mainly the two. A lot of the prophets dealt with the kings, or with the national. How does a nation should act? The prophets never dealt with individuals unless these individuals are, important, fundamental part of the usually kings or like a main figure that is doing something, but they have nothing to do with Shilo, with Joe, with David. They're dealing with the whole nation, with the public, or with the king. That's number one. Number two, as you say, to show us the way to get closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's so. These two reasons are the reasons why prophecies now belong to out of Israel, because we don't have national life there, like we don't have army, we don't have. So that mission is out of the table, and the way how to get closer to Hashem, it's out of Israel is very, very narrow, and the prophet almost doesn't have And there, it's more the mission of the rabbis. It's the halacha outside of Israel becomes more important because that's since we don't have any national system to keep, to maintain. So what we have is the religious part of our, big life, and that's the prophets have nothing to do with that. As you can see all over, prophets almost doesn't deal with religious issues. Mostly deal with social issues rather than. And if they mention the religious issues, a lot of the times is in a controversial way. I don't want you to keep Shabbat if you are, evil. If you don't take care of the widows and the orphans, I don't want your sacrifices. That's the. Okay.
Why isn't the Torah enough?
What do you mean?
How do we live? What are we supposed to do? Hashem gives us the book. Why do we need the Navi on top of that?
It's a broader question. Why do you need Torah shebe'al peh? Torah shebichtav is Torah shebichtav. Nevi'im is part of Torah shebe'al peh. Torah shebe'al peh, in general, the Torah shebichtav, okay, we have lo tignov. You know how many books and how many ways and how many aspects of stealing. Just an example. Not to pay taxes to the tax authority. Is that stealing? Is it considered as stealing? Or lo tignov, just from peer to peer, just from person to person, a person from organization, organization from organization, a state from a person, person from state. So I give you the concept lo tignov. Okay, for sure, lo tignov. But what is stealing? What considered to be a stealing? So just, as small as that. So Torah shebichtav gives us the concept, the big ideal. Now, how to bring it into our lives and how to bring it especially into national life, not as a specific mitzvah. Okay, should they give $20 to charity or 21 or 19? So that's why it's on a different scale, and that's why different Nevi'im has different, as Chachamim say, there is no Navi that is speaking and talking, is equal to another one. Each one is focused on different reality, different time, different place, different. One is dealing when we are under attack from the Ashurim, so the Navi encourages the king not to do any agreement with that empire because he wants to show him that, keep the national independence and God will help you. And in another way, Yirmiyahu tells them, don't worry, now it's the time to go to Bavel for 70 years and later on come back. So different, it's really different from a prophet or prophets. Now let's go a little bit. I don't know what you have learned so far in the last 19 parakim. I'll try to focus on Perek Kaf. I have to tell you, it's a very, very strange Perek. Why? First, because we have 44 psukim, 90% of them is kind of very, I would say, in Yehezkel, forgive me, a very boring speech that sounds like, okay, another one from the list of the speeches that no, you are done there, you didn't give. So I want to put it aside for a second and focus on the first 3 psukim. First, about the time, and I want to give some questions in order to try to get some understanding, a deeper understanding of that perek. First, pay attention to the date. ויהי בשנה השביעית בחמישי בעשור לחודש, באו אנשים מזקני ישראל לדרוש את אדוני וישבו לפניי. What's the time? בשנה השביעית. So it's basically 7 years from what? From Galut Yehoiachin. Okay? We're already 7 years in the Galut. Let's say if people thought maybe the Galut is for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and we are going back, people start to internalize that Galut is not going to be over. It's a new reality that we have to understand that we are in. Right? 7 years. 7 years, you know, it's a circle of time, like Shemitah. It's בחמישי בעשור לחודש. What's חמישי בעשור לחודש? חמישי בעשור לחודש is י' באב, which is, we know that date, yeah?
That's when Melachim says the Bet HaMikdash was destroyed.
That's the, you know, we have in one place, we have in Tisha B'Av, Asiri B'Av. So Chachamim say that depends on the Mikdash, which one, the first or the second, and anyway, the majority of the Srifa happen in the 10th. Anyway, that's Tisha B'Av. Okay? בתשעה באב, באים אנשים, באים זקני ישראל, are coming to לדרוש את השם. באים לנביא לדרוש את השם. So, if the Navi find it's important to mention the date, so we have to ask ourselves, why? Yeah? Because not all the prophecies has a date on. Those who have, there is a reason why. And here we have. So, בעשירי באב, let's say בתשעה באב, people are coming. Now I want to ask you, תשעה באב, what's happened? חורבן הבית. But we just said, did the temple destroyed yet? No, so the temple is there. So it's Tisha B'Av, but before Tisha B'Av. We don't really have Tisha B'Av. So one question. Now the second, באו אנשים מזקני ישראל לדרוש את השם. What's לדרוש את השם? So I told you in the past, when we have an expression like that and want to understand what it means, we should go to the other places in the Tanakh where the expression לדרוש את השם is mentioned. So what do you remember לדרוש את השם? רבקה, ותלך לדרוש את השם. What did, okay, let's focus on רבקה. What did she went to, you know, what did she, okay, that's פסוק, ויתרוצצו הבנים בקרבה, ותאמר אם כן למה זה אנוכי, ותלך לדרוש את השם. This is an example of a very specific question. I have something happening in my body. I don't understand exactly what. I'm going to the Navi, to Shem ve'ever. Why do I suffer? And you know, and that way. So this is a place we can see לדרוש את השם in a very specific questions that I'm. ואז the next pasuk. ויאמר השם לה, שני גויים בביתנר, ושני לאומים ממעייך ייפרדו, ולאומי לאומי יאמץ. So she came to ask a very specific question, and she got a very specific answer. So this is one way. So לדרוש את השם, asking specific question. Okay, what else? לדרוש את השם.
To seek out God maybe spiritually, to try to connect to Hashem.
No, give me pasuk, give me a place, give me a pasuk, if comes to your mind, that דרשו השם בהימצאו, קראו בהיותו קרוב. ישעיהו, נכון. דרשו השם בהימצאו, קראו בהיותו קרוב. מה זה שמה? Is it like רבקה? Not exactly. It's almost the opposite. Not specific. It's not asked for a specific. דרשו השם בהימצאו, that's חכמים דרשו את זה על אלול. Means try to get closer to Hashem. לדרוש means לבקש. דרשו השם בהימצאו, like to look for his קרבה. Yeah? That's okay, נכון. דרשו השם בהימצאו. Although this is another one. What else? We have דרשו השם בהימצאו, ותלך לדרוש את השם. כי יבוא אליי העם לדרוש אלוהים. כי יהיה להם דבר בא אליי, ושפטתי בין איש ובין רעהו, ובדעתי את חוקי למטרות. שמה, משה רבנו אומר ליתרו, אז it's more like ישעיהו, or more like רבקה? more like רבקה. כי יבוא להם לדרוש אלוהים, it's a judgment. Okay? That's the... So we can see that לדרוש את השם, it can be a specific request, question, judgment, whatever, or לדרוש במושג in the meaning of קרבה. In Hebrew, לדרוש can be, it's לדרוש, it's request, like כמו בקשה, ודרשת, או חיפוש. So that's different meanings of the שורש דרש, ואת שעיר החטאת דרוש דרש משה והנה שורף. מה זה דרש משה? חיפש. Where is that? So דירשו השם בהימצאו. לא. Look for, okay. So לדרוש את השם זה או לחפש את השם, או לשאול אותו שאלה. Okay? So let's just move to the next, let's just, איך אומרים, we can just, איך אומרים, eliminate, like, להוריד, you know, we can take one options from the table, one of the options, which one? If we read the פרק, לדרוש את השם וישבו לפניי. If you have תנ"ך קורן, you can see we have a break. No specific request is mentioned. So for sure, I wouldn't say for sure, but it doesn't look like they came to ask a specific question. Yeah? And also, וישבו לפניי means they came for a meeting, not for, Rabbi, I have a question. They came for a discussion. Okay? So it keeps us with the פירוש of לדרוש את השם, with the meaning of to get kirva, to get close to Hashem. Okay? Just have it in mind. Soon we'll see the problem. The problem is that. What's the answer of HaKadosh Baruch Hu? The next one, the next pasuk. ויהי דבר אדוני אלי לאמור, בן אדם דבר את זקני ישראל ואמרת עליהם, כה אמר אדוני אלוהים, הלדרוש אותי אתם באים? חי אני אם יידרש לכם נאום אדוני אלוהים. Forget about. Like, are you coming to... למה? למה? מה קרה? So הקדוש ברוך הוא, I'm not available for you. Yeah, go look for someone else. Don't come to me. Why? They didn't even open their mouth. Like, they didn't say, we want to go have avodah zarah, we want to... It's מוזר, no? הקדוש ברוך הוא, okay, we came, זקני ישראל, ישבו לפניי. They didn't, like, it's strange that the people are coming to look for הקדוש ברוך הוא and no enter. And from Pasuk Daled, add Pasuk Mem Daled. Now we have 40 psukim of a speech. Which kind of speech you can open and read. Okay, just תשפוט את אוהבותם ואמרת להם, going back to the history in Egypt, ביום בוחרי בישראל, ואשא את ידי לזרע בית יעקב, הוצאתי אותם ממצרים, והם עבדו עבודה זרה, So, a brief of the history that focus on the fact that Israel are כפוי טובה. איך אומרים כפוי טובה? כפויי טובה? Ungrateful. Yeah. Okay. So, what? We read the פרק, פסוק כ"ז. לכן, דבר אל בית ישראל ואמרת עליהם עוד. זאת גידפו אבותיכם. It's not enough. On top of that. פסוק למד. אמור אל בית ישראל, כה אמר השם, בדרך אבותיכם אתם נטמעים, ואחרי שיקוציהם אתם זונים. ממשיך. עוד ועוד. עכשיו שימו לב לפרק למד א'. ובשאת מתנותיכם, באוויר בניכם באש אתם נטמעים לכל גילוליכם עד היום, ואני אדרש לכם בית ישראל. חי אני נאום אדוני אלוהים אם ידרש לכם. Again. הקדוש ברוך הוא, he swear again, that אני לא אדרש לכם. I'll not be available, I'll not get close to you as you want. Why? מה קרה?
Envelope. Maybe. Trying to create two bookends for a middle part that's important. When it says
No, I don't say, no, I'm not about the editing. I'm focused again on the question, like, he's repeating that, I want, why? Let's say, if you want to punish them or you have something, you can send the prophet and tell them before they come. But once they came and they show that they're looking for you know, they're talking to the Navi. Now you... It doesn't make sense. Question. And I apologize for taking the next 2 weeks class, but if you move forward to Perek Lamed Vav, Pasuk Lamed Zayin, so we just saw now in the Perek twice, HaKadosh Baruch Hu swore that he will not יידרש לבית ישראל. מה כתוב? מי רוצה לקרוא את פרק ל"ו, פסוק ל"ז? נו, שמישהו יקרא. אז מה כתוב פה? פה זה אותו נביא, יחזקאל, מה הוא פה פתאום אומר בשם השם? אני כן יידרש להם. אז הקדוש ברוך הוא תחליט. אתה נשבעת לפני 10 פרקים, שאתה לא, מה פתאום, פעמיים אתה נשבעת. אני לא יידרש לכם, וחי אני נאום השם, אם יידרש לכם, ופה אני כן יידרש לכם. אז I don't understand not the problem and not the solution. Not why you don't agree להידרש לבית ישראל, ולמה בסוף, אחרי כמה פרקים, אתה בסוף מחליט שאתה כן נדרש לבית ישראל. So, זה, לזכור את הדבר הזה, עוד שאלה. אם יש לכם עוד שאלות להוסיף, או שננסה, שמספיק. מספיק שאלות. קצת תשובות. אתם מכירים את האברבנל? Do you know the אברבנל? No, in general, the אברבנל. So some rabbis say, what?
I thought you were a specific Hilul.
No. So some rabbis say the abrahamic structure is giving millions of questions and answers. The rabbis say don't learn it on Friday night. Why? Because you learned only the question, you fall asleep, and you become kofir. So I'll try not to do it now. But I was really, for me, it was I looked around in many mefarshim to see how they digest this perek, and I want to share with you my thoughts about the perek. So let's go back to the time frame and the reality. People start to realize that the galut is not a local event that is going to pass. It's a new reality. And look, leaders that for years and generations, and remember, this is the first galut. So for many hundreds of years, we have the tradition in the history that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you know, he has the covenant with us. He brought us to Eretz Israel, took us out of Egypt, he brought the Torah. We have the kings, we have the Mikdash, we have everything. And then immediately, it's been broken. So people, also the leaders, they prefer to think that, okay, we got a punishment, a serious punishment. But you lock your child in the room because I don't know what it. Okay, for 5 minutes, 15 minutes. But you got to get the dinner. You got to go to school. So it's not endless. He knows that one day I don't have even to knock on the door because Daddy will open the door. Wow. He doesn't want me to die in the room. Yeah, it's not bet kvarot. Yeah, okay, he wants me to understand that I did really bad thing. Okay. But a day, 2 days, 3 days, maybe Daddy really wants to kill me. So I have to know that. So the people start to understand there is a new reality. And if there is a new reality, and the K'nai Israel means the leaders of the people, so I am sure that the people are coming on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. Should we build here a shul? Should we start to have like a community life? or just, we live on a package because, tomorrow we have moving. So that's the reality the leaders are dealing with. That's why, it's not the first year, as I told you. 7 years is time to, I'm talking about a nation. It's like a period of time to understand that it's not going to be over tomorrow. It's something that is, it's permanent. It's here to stay. With that understanding, they are coming to the Navi. Now here we have 2 tracks. One is they're coming to Navi to understand did HaKadosh Baruch Hu decided to, like, it's a real divorce, like I can go to look for another wife. We should, like, no Judaism anymore, forget about Torah, forget about Tfilot, forget about, or just, so they are coming to who? The Navi. As you said, they are coming to the Navi for the 2 reasons that the prophecy was established. We have to go back to the communities, to the people that are asking questions and tell them, yeah, you should pray, or you can stop, do whatever you want. Yeah, let's go to, Christianity. Wasn't exist at that time, not Islam. Okay, go to the Baal, go to any pagan's religion you find. Or we tell them, oh, don't worry, it's, we'll go back there. This is one, from the national point of view, and also from the religion, like we want to get closer from Hashem. Okay, if he punished us, maybe he doesn't want us to try and get close to him. That's another option. He doesn't want. So they want to know what's the... But the answer of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which sounds with a lot of anger, it's hard to say that they came with what we call in clean hands. Because if they really come with, pure kavanot, HaKadosh Baruch Hu wouldn't answer that way. They really want to understand. They come to ותלך לדרוש את השם. In all the places that we see הביטוי לדרוש את השם is in a positive way. So there is no reason to say here that לדרוש את השם is a negative, like the הקדוש ברוך הוא, can I work עבודה זרה? With all the, you're joking, you're laughing, but I think that's the answer. Why? Let's go to פסוק ל"ב. בפרק שלנו. יש לכם פסוק ל"ב? זה בדיוק אחרי שאמרתי לכם, אחרי שהקדוש ברוך הוא, the second time that he say, אני אדרש לכם, אני לא אדרש לכם, אוקיי. והעולה על רוחכם, היו לא תהיה. אשר אתם אומרים, נהיה כגויים, כמשפחות הארצות, לשרת עץ ואבן. Here, from the talking of the Navi, we can understand, maybe it's surprise, but we can understand that what does he want to do? To become, מה כתוב? להיות ככל הגויים, כמשפחות הארצות, לשרת עץ ואבן. So it's not new for us that people, that Am Yisrael want to go לעבוד עבודה זרה. What's special here? After 7 years in the Galut, start to think maybe HaKadosh Baruch Hu left us. Or, if he's still with us, maybe what we have to do is what? Is leave Judaism, leave Torah, becomes like the Goyim. Why?
They're not in a national situation anymore. They're in Galut.
So what?
Everything that they used to, and everything, the way they connect HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the Aretz doesn't exist doesn't exist in Babel. I can't even believe it took 7 years. I mean, human nature, 6 months, they're going to be confused and lost. No?
So the only question is, why do you come to Hashem? So you really come to HaKadosh Baruch Hu to ask for permission? So, okay, so leave him alone. You don't have to go to Yehezkel and Mr. Rabbi Yehezkel, I want to go to war. What do you think?
The Beit HaMikdash is still there.
Still.
So that they're not sure that God really left them, because if he did, it wouldn't be Beit HaMikdash.
Maybe they felt they need to recreate a nation-building process that they had in Mitzrayim, and that's why we have to go back and say, I already did all this, you're a nation, you're staying, we're not starting from the beginning.
So I didn't get the beginning.
Maybe they're thinking, it ended, we have to start again. And like, remember when that's why he goes back through all the Jewish history, and Yehezkel keeps going over Jewish history.
So that's, yeah, Yehezkel's answer, or Kadosh Baruch Hu's answer is going over the history, but how do you understand that they thought maybe we have to go back like to Terach, like before Avraham Avinu became pagans, and then, no, just, yeah? So maybe like,
Meaning like it's done.
okay, it's, we opened a new, like HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe Rabbeinu, אני אשמיד אותם, and let's open a fresh restart. So I was thinking about what you say, like, okay, we have no national, but two problems. One, we still have the king and the Mikdash, but it's minor. They know, and Yehezkel himself, as part of his nevuot, it's going to be over. So Yehezkel himself, they cannot rely on the attendance of Beit HaMikdash and the king, because they know it's nothing. It's zero. It's a question of time. It's a year, 2 years, 3 years. I wanted to think like that, but I cannot fit in my mind that conflict. So here I immediately understood something else. So on one hand, they are coming to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and lidrosh et Hashem with all the positive meanings of these expressions we see all over the Tanakh. On the other hand, we learn from the Navi that their goal or their thoughts is going to be like the Kol HaGoyim. And then I remember that Yehezkel has a very clear agenda about something that's called Hilul Hashem. We used to think Hilul Hashem, what's Hilul Hashem? If you, as a religious guy, you cross the street in a red light, there's Hilul Hashem, because people say, you see, this guy is a religious guy, and he doesn't pay, he doesn't give any on the rules. This is Hilul Hashem. When you recognize somehow with Hashem, yeah, as a religious guy, as a Talmid Chacham, as whatever, and when you act against the basics, the Derech Eretz, so this kind of Hilul Hashem. Why is Hilul Hashem? Because like you recognize somehow with Hashem, and you act in a way that is not expected from people that are. So that's the way we used to think about Hilul Hashem. But Yehezkel has a total different understanding of Hilul Hashem. I think that's the original one. Hilul Hashem is not about the people that. Hilul Hashem means like לחלל את כביכול את השם בעצמו. Like make him חולין, make him nothing, make him חלול. What's חלול? No, like empty from inside. חלול in Hebrew, חלל, מה זה חלל? מת. מת. חלל. מישהו שאין לו נשמה, הוא ריק בפנים. It's just a frame, but nothing inside, just a cover. It's not real. So לחלל את השם, it's basically to say, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it's a fake. It's not something real. And how can it happen? Let's go to פרק ל"ז. סליחה, פרק ל"ו. The same פרק we went before to פסוק ל"ז. פרק ל"ו, מפסוק ט"ז עד פסוק כ"א. פסוק ט"ז, so ויהי דבר אדוני אלי לאמור, בן אדם בית ישראל יושבים על אדמתם, ויטמאו אותה בדרכם וכלילתם, וישפוך את חמתי, ואפיץ אותם בגויים, ויזהרו בארצות. So it describes בית ישראל, עם ישראל, they settled the land, they didn't act as expected, I kicked them out to the גלות. ועכשיו פסוק כ', פסוק מאוד מאוד חשוב בעיניי. ויבוא אל הגויים אשר באו שם, מי באו לגויים? עם ישראל. ויחללו את שם קודשי. חילול השם. How? באמור להם, עם אדוני אלה ומארצו יצאו. מה זה חילול השם? חילול השם שמצביעים על יהודי, when they appointed the Jews, you see the Jews that they claim that God took them out of Egypt and built them a nation, and then look, they are in Spain, then Morocco, then what's the stories about these gods that took them out, took them 40 years? It's all nonsense. It's never happened. How can it happen? And look at these Jews now. So Hilul Hashem is not that you act not, as expected from a religious Jew. This is not, it's a very low, Hilul Hashem, it's when you kind of affect Hashem himself. How? By you as a representative of his existence, there is no proof to Hashem's existence. Because what is the higher proof for his existence? The national life of Am Yisrael. When this national life is broken, there's no nation, there's no national structure in the land of Israel, there's no land of Israel for them. So this is Hilul Hashem, that this reality not exist anymore. So when they appoint the Jews and tell them, Am Hashem elu me'artzo yatzau, it's not, look, they throw garbage in the street. No. The fact that they are called Am Yisrael and they are not in the situation they claim or they're supposed to be, that's the highest level of Hilul Hashem. That we should be the higher proof to God's existence by having a national system, national life in the land of Israel, independence, all these systems working. When it's not exist, that's Hilul Hashem. You don't have to add any word or any act. The fact that this situation stopped is Hilul Hashem. And that Yehezkel is, more than anyone else, is carrying this flag of the meaning and expression Hilul Hashem this way. So people around Yehezkel understand what's Hilul Hashem. Hilul Hashem, when they can see the Jews not in their natural situation in Eretz Israel, independent, strong country, that's Hilul Hashem. So, okay, they realized it after 7 years, and they came to the conclusion that, what? We should stop become those who are recognized with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, not because we are lazy. Because of what? To minimize Hilul Hashem. So that's the only way I can understand that they come to the Navi to ask, come the rabbi to ask not to be Shomer Shabbat. So stop Shmor Shabbat. Why do you come to the rabbi to get a permission to something that the rabbi is, the rabbis get paid for, to instruct you how to keep Shabbat. And you come, please, rabbi, can I stop? That makes sense. The only way to try and understand what these national leaders are asking from the Navi, that they realized, okay, the exile is fact, and we're going to stay for many years, so we should take out the symbols that we are Jews, we are the nation of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because of Hilul Hashem. Let's minimize the Hilul Hashem. Okay, he kicked out, he kicked the nation out of the country. Okay, so at least the Goyim won't be able to, this is let's be like the Goyim. No one can say he's a Jew or he's not a Jew. Okay, listen, if, God willing, next week, our next generation, God wants to keep, to bring us back. Okay, we, somehow we'll be like the Moranos we'll be, we'll tell our kids, don't forget, we are part of a hidden nation, say Shema Israel, Bamita, I don't know what. That's, for me, that's the first wave of the, how do you say, assimilation. And not, if I ask you before, what are the reasons for Jews to become, to be part of that process of assimilation? So most of you say, laziness, but you have to remember that we have also ideological assimilation. Or, like we see here, like for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to save his, his name, or from different, like we have Mendelssohn, we have a lot of mitbolelim.
This week that two Jews wrote, we should divest from Israel for Israel's own sake. Because Israel's fallen from what it's been, so we should divest of it.
Yeah. So they took the Or LaGoyim, the fact we shouldn't be, we are strong, we are smart, we are human. We should be spread around, in all the countries. Let's go to Africa, Just imagine if you have some genius Jews, nice Jews in Darfur, or maybe we can really increase the level of humanity, and maybe. So the ideology of assimilation is ideology. It's not laziness. It's not just giving up. We have no more energy. It's coming from a very deep place. I would say, מעוות, the opposite of straight. Yeah, but we have to know that way of thinking. We have to understand there is ideology behind. It's not just we want to throw everything. And I think that's the point of Perek Kaf. That the first time that Jewish leaders are coming to the prophet, just what. You ask them on the way, where are you going to Yehezkel? What are you going to ask him? They didn't ask him when is the redemption, when God is going to... Why? Because they know, they hear Yehezkel talking about the Churban that is coming soon, and Yerushalayim, and Aholiva, all the Nevuot. So they know, though, they understand very clear where the history is going. It's going to a total destruction of Israel. Okay? So... That's what comes to their mind. Okay, so now we can understand the anger of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Because they are coming from good intentions, but as the Kuzari say, כוונתך רצויה, אבל מעשיך אינם רצויים. They are coming from good intentions, but the worst offer they can offer. Okay, so now the whole historical speech, I took them from Egypt, and all that history speech shows that over the years, over the generations, most of the time, the Jews did not present the existence of God as he wanted to. And okay, he could live with that. So he basically said, I live with, that Hilul Hashem that you're talking about and you want to avoid, I'll deal with that. כמו שהוא אומר, אני אעשה לשם קודשי המחולל בגויים. So don't okay, I respect that you're taking care of me, but I'll take care of myself. Okay, do whatever you have to do. Forget about Avodah Zarah, keep your, Okay, so you're right, you have no national systems, but you still have your religious commitment and obligations. Okay, keep them. Okay, I just saw that you are not capable for the bigger mission. Okay, so just you have no mikdash, no kingdom, but you have enough to do without. So put aside the ideology of 0 or 100. Oh, we have everything. Oh, we give up everything. Okay, live with when the time comes that we can go back to the, to the optimal, to the ideal reality. Okay, we'll go there. I think that's the approach to look at at the perek, and then go back. Let's go to perek lamed vav now, where we are, to pasuk lamed zayin. Maybe part of the request was, let's stop be Jews, but keep the connection with Hashem. So let's do a deal. You still, talk to us. We have the prophets that are, we can keep kind of a channel with you, but, it's a secret. We don't, no one knows that we are your guys. Yeah? The HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells them, I will not, idaresh lachem means, forget about, there is no connection anymore, because we know that the prophecy went down. And your request, forget about. But he promised, עוד זאת יידרש לבית ישראל לעשות להם, הרבה אותם כצאן אדם. כצאן קודשים, כצאן ירושלים במועדיה, כן תהיינה הערים החורבות מלאות צאן אדם, וידעו כי אני השם. You can see that Yehezkel, in part of the like Yeshayahu, so part of the parakim are focused on the redemption and the future. And the answer that HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells them, אני לא אדרש לכם, I won't be in touch with you through prophecy, through talking with you, but I'll be in touch with you through the reality, which means the time will come that you'll be able to see. And Yehezkel is the Navi that is highlight the signs of the redemption. Perek lamed vav, lamed zayin. He said, when you'll see people, full of people in Jerusalem, in the land of Israel, when you see the trees in Israel giving, its fruits, that's the sign that I am back with you. So you won't have prophets to tell you God loves you, but you'll have the reality if you open your eyes in the future, and you'll see people filling the streets of Israel, and you'll see the fruits and the agriculture going back many levels. That is the sign for you that I am with you. So that's an answer why in Perek Kaf he swore, אני לא אדרש לכם, and פרק ל"ו, אני אדרש לכם. Yes, הקדוש ברוך הוא אומר, אני אדרש לכם, but not in the way that he used to, through, prophecies and talks, but through reality. And your responsibility is what? To be able to recognize that reality. That's the time when you'll have to leave the exile and go to Israel. That's basically what Yehezkel tells them. Yeah, it's temporary, not to 7 years, maybe to 70, maybe to 700. But when you know that it's over, you'll see these signs that I'm giving to you. So I think here we can meet the first time the ideological assimilation movement that are doing that, or they want to do that from, good intentions, from thinking of avoiding Hilul Hashem, and maybe we could think maybe HaKadosh Baruch Hu will agree, but we see the reaction. Forget about, you don't have to take care of me. So yes, you have to do everything in order not to meet the realities that I have to kick you out of the land, and the result is Hilul Hashem. But after that, okay, I can handle it. Don't worry for me. Take care of you. And I think if we just took the expression Hilul Hashem, that we used to look at Hilul Hashem in one way, and Yehezkel opens our eyes to a much deeper way, it's the same with the expression Bitul Torah. What is Bitul Torah? What's Bitul Torah? For everybody, it's the immediate, this is Bitul Torah. Stop learning. When I cannot take all the library and close my eyes, and that's Bitul Torah. go to play basketball instead of learning that. We took the Bitul Torah and we narrowed the expression to avoiding and canceling learning of Torah. But like Hilul Hashem, it's a very small part of Bitul Torah, and this is not what the original expression means. Bitul Torah is, if you want to know what Bitul Torah according to the Tanakh, so open in Eicha. Eicha. Right before Tehillim. No, איפה זה פה? לא, אחרי תהילים, משלי איוב. רות. אחרי רות, איכה. מלכה, נחפש את הפסוק, מלכה ושריה בגויים הן טוענה. פרק ב' פסוק ט'. פרק ב' פסוק ט', כתוב ככה, מלכה ושריה בגויים אין תורה, גם נביאיה לא מצאו חזון מהשם. על המילים מלכה ושריה בגויים אין תורה, which the translation is when the king and the ministers are the galut, there's no Torah. So everybody asks, just look at that library and go in each book and ask yourself, was it written in Israel or out of Israel? So I guess that 95% of the books, I don't want to, take a high risk. 90% of the books that you hear are written out of Israel. So how can you say Malka v'Sara b'Goyim en Torah? We have more Torah out of Israel than we have in Israel. But again, we are taking the wrong part of the Chachamim in the Midrash said about that pasuk, this pasuk, Malka v'Sara b'Goyim en Torah, כיוון שגלו ישראל מעל אדמתם, אין לך ביטול תורה גדול מזה. So מה זה ביטול תורה? Torah is reality. Like we said before, Hilul Hashem. ביטול Torah, it's breaking the reality that called Torah. What is Torah? Torah is a reality that when we have the nation living in a normal way in Israel, this is a reality called Torah. For sure, part of that is learning that Torah and what to do and how to do and when. But this is reality. Bitul Torah means breaking that reality. That's Bitul Torah. Malka v'Sara b'Goyim en Torah. Break the Israeli kingdom. Break the Israeli independence. Break the Israeli national life. You broke the Torah. That's what Chachamim say in the Midrash. מלכה ושריה בגויים אין תורה. כיוון שגלו ישראל מעל אדמתם, אין לך ביטול תורה גדול מזה. So for sure we can learn million books. We can learn a lot of data. But the reality that describes, that called Torah, is broken. When will it come back? When the king and the ministers will come back to Eretz Israel. So you tell me, okay, so you say, there is no meaning of learning. No, for sure, but just remember, learning Torah is a small part of the reality that's called Torah. And for sure, when the big reality is broken, for sure we are trying to, to hold as much as possible, and learning is a serious part of that. But don't get wrong. Learning is part of much bigger picture. This is not, I just say it, because we were talking about the Hilul Hashem. That Hilul Hashem is not taking a religious guy or rabbi that is stealing money and this is Hilul Hashem. Okay, yeah, this is Hilul Hashem, but it's Hilul Hashem in a low level compared to Hilul Hashem what the Navi means. When you don't have our national life, that's Hilul Hashem. That's the highest level of Hilul Hashem. All the other Hilul Hashem that we used to, it's like very, it's down in the list. Same with Bitul Torah. Bitul Torah, the highest level of Bitul Torah is like Yirmiyahu says, Malka v'Sara b'Gogim en Torah. Kevan shegalu Yisrael v'alatam, en lecha Bitul Torah. But we have the Talmud Bavli, yeah, for sure. This all is part of Limud Torah, which is a small part of the Torah. So if I try to just summarize the what we saw here in the Perek, I think that it can open our minds to the question of all the triggers and the reasons and the roots of the assimilations over the years, over the history. And we have to know that it came even as a question to the prophet, not just, so we have to know that very deep roots and ideologies of assimilations are coming from, sometimes from good intentions. And we have to be able to deal with them, to fight with them, to know what to answer. And I think the fact that Yehezkel, picked that perek now, I don't have time, to go with you all over the 40 psukim that Yehezkel, but if we understand that this is the context, so we can learn now the perek and think why did Yehezkel, choose to give that speech to that, idea. We could give. So that's for homework.